Good evening and welcome to ICUTV Main News. We begin by taking a look at the stories making headlines. Security guard on the run after fatal robbery at Lusaka fuel station. 9,377 road traffic accidents recorded in Zambia in second quarter of 2025. Immunization drives improvement in Zambia's child survival rates. And in our international news, at least 20 killed in crash at US-backed GHF aid site in Gaza. And in our sports news, Zambia stars named in CAF 11. With the news details, my name is Mapepa. A security guard at Ruby's service station in Lusaka-Ndola area is on the run after being implicated in a brutal robbery that claimed the life of a female fuel attendant and left another critically injured. The incident took place at the service station where the guard, along with the unidentified accomplices, allegedly used metal bars to carry out the violent attack. The deceased, a mother of 3, was on duty at the time. Authorities have since launched a manhunt for the suspect and investigations are ongoing. This tragic event has raised serious concerns about the safety and security of workers at service stations. Fuel attendants are vital to the daily operations of these facilities, and it is imperative that they are protected from such acts of violence. As the investigation progresses, more details are expected to emerge about the circumstances surrounding the attack. In the meantime, the community is left in mourning, calling for justice and greater protection for frontline service workers. 9,377 road traffic accidents were recorded across Zambia during the second quarter of 2025, resulting in 642 fatalities and 1,826 serious injuries. Police spokesperson Ramaphosa reveals that Lusaka province had the highest number of cases with 4,713 accidents reported. Mr. Ramaphosa states that this marks an increase of 342 incidents compared to the same period in 2024. He attributes the majority of accidents to human error, particularly excessive speed and disregard for traffic regulations. Mr. Ramaphosa adds that enhanced enforcement and awareness campaigns will begin in the third quarter to help reduce the rising toll on the nation's roads. Permanent Secretary for Technical Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Kennedy Lishimpi, has underscored the significant impact of immunization on Zambia's advancements in child health outcomes. Speaking during a presentation of the Immunization 5-Point Plan findings, a joint initiative between the Zambia Red Cross Society and the American Red Cross, Dr. Lishimpi stated that immunization remains a cornerstone of primary health care, crucial for preventing and managing childhood infectious diseases. He reports that Zambia has seen a remarkable drop in child mortality, with under 5 deaths decreasing by more than 70% over the past 25 years. The under 5 mortality rate declined from 168 per 1,000 live births in 2001 to 64 per 1,000 in 2024, while the infant mortality rate fell from 95 to 29 per 1,000 in the same period. Dr. Lishimpi credits this progress to enhanced collaboration with partners, which has allowed for the rollout of new vaccines, better infrastructure, and expanded cold chain systems to maintain vaccine quality. He also stresses the need to further reinforce immunization efforts to sustain these achievements and align with the Sustainable Development Goals focused on child health. Representing Zambia Red Cross Society Secretary General Cosmas Sakala, Director of Programming Dr. Jack Babi shared insights into the immunization 5-point plan. Developed in close partnership with the Ministry of Health and other stakeholders, the plan focuses on mapping and identification, coordination and action, social mobilization and evaluation. Dr. Babi notes that the initiative has shown how integrating community insights with evidence-based strategies can lead to measurable improvements in healthcare outcomes. We take our first break. Coming up next is more, so stay tuned.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development. Welcome to the Zambia Research.
I've been waiting to hear from you. And I've been watching over you. When you woke up this morning, I was ready to hear from you, but you woke up and chose to devote your time to the multitudes that couldn't be less bothered by your misery. I knew you when you took your first breath, knew you when no one else did. I stood by you on your first day of school.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. And now in our local stories, residents of Mwachiyaba village in Kafua district are now benefiting from a newly built community trading area thanks to a partnership involving the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services, the Undong Center of Korea, and the active participation of local community members. The market facility, constructed at a cost of 468,739 kwacha and 48 ingwe, was officially opened today by Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Engineer Joe Kalusa. During the commissioning, Engineer Kalusa emphasized that the project exemplifies the success of the Samo Undong model, a rural development initiative rooted in the principles of self-reliance, hard work, and community involvement. He notes that these values were instrumental in bringing the project to fruition and highlighted the community's ownership and transformative spirit throughout the process. He further reveals that a similar initiative is ongoing in Shakulia village, where the construction of a community hall is approaching completion. The government is also considering expanding these efforts to additional villages as part of its broader agenda for inclusive and balanced development. The Permanent Secretary expressed gratitude to local stakeholders, including the area member of Parliament, Her Royal Highness Chieftainess Dr. Nkomesha Mukamambo II, represented by the village head woman, local leaders, ward councillors, and officers from the Community Development Department, and Kafue Town Council for their cooperation and support. At the same time, a South Korean delegation is in the district to oversee progress on development projects scheduled for handover in 2023, 2024, and 2025. As part of their visit, they inspected the nearly completed school hall in Mungu Ward, Shakulia village, which will soon be handed over to the Zambian government upon completion. Assistant Directors Secondary Education from the Ministry of Education, Aiden Kamanga, says the Ministry of Education has developed a document aimed at providing a standardized framework for managing disciplinary cases in schools nationwide. He says the initiative is a response to the growing concern over indiscipline cases in educational institutions. Mr. Kamanga adds that the same standards should apply to schools in all provinces, ensuring consistency in handling cases such as theft. Mr. Kamanga adds that the ministry will create a unified framework for managing disciplinary cases, including theft, to ensure fairness and consistency across all public schools. The education sector is facing a crisis of discipline in secondary schools, with numerous incidents reported since the beginning of the year. These incidents include stabbing of a pupil by a fellow pupil, sodomy and homosexuality, fighting, mockery, and absenteeism. In response, the ministry launched a school commitment form aimed at promoting discipline within schools. This development raises concerns about the breakdown of discipline in secondary schools and the potential consequences for the students' safety, well-being, and academic performance.
This is a document that the Ministry of Education has formulated to try and guide the nation in the way we should manage disciplinary cases in our schools. And this is emanating from the many cases of discipline cases that we have experienced as a country. So we are trying to formulate a document that will be followed by everyone as a standard in the country, so that we try to mitigate and also reduce on the cases of indiscipline in our schools. For us as a ministry, we are saying we need to guide the nation, and we need to produce a standard where if it is a case of theft in Sadi, in Livingston, in Mongu, it should be handled in the same manner. There should be a standard, not in this school on rules, and the penalties may differ from school to school, and that's why we are saying we don't want complaints over these cases. Let's have a standard. If it is a theft case, how do we manage it?
You're still watching.
Including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Welcome back. We continue with the news, and now in our international news. At least 20 people have been killed in a crash at an aid distribution center in southern Gaza. run by the US and Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, the organization and a local hospital say. The GHF said 19 were trampled to death and one was stabbed amid a chaotic and dangerous search at its site in the Khan Yunis area. It added that it believed people armed and affiliated with Hamas fomented unrest. But Gaza's Hamas-run government media office denied the claim and accused the GHF of trying to cover up a crime. Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis said it had received the bodies of 21 people who died from suffocation as a result of tear gas inhalation and a crash at the aid site. Still in international news, the US has deported what it described as 5 criminal illegal aliens to the southern African kingdom of Eswatini. On board the flight were 5 deportees from Vietnam, Jamaica, Cuba, and Yemen who have been convicted of crimes ranging from child rape to murder. U.S. Homeland Security Department Assistant Secretary Tricia McLean said in an online post. McLean stated on X that the flight involved individuals who were so uniquely barbaric that their home countries refused to accept their return. Eswatini, the last absolute monarchy in Africa, said it acknowledged widespread concern with the country. We do take another break. Coming up next is sports news.
Hello, the Information and Communications University, ICU. What comes to your mind when you hear of this name? Is it the beautifully architectured infrastructure at our campus? Or is it the amazing students that are always performing well in their fields? My name is Zimba Emmanuel, and I present to you Alumni Chronicles, a program that gets to look at all students that have passed through the corridors of ICU and are making an impact in society today. Join me every week as I sit down with former students and get to listen to them, what they have to say about life after they've been through the university. Remember, it's ICU TV every week.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now in our sports news, 3 Zambian players have earned spots in the CAF 11 for the group stage of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, thanks to their impressive performances in the tournament currently underway in Morocco. Captain Barbara Banda, striker Rachel Kundananji, and defender Lucio Mwemba were selected by the CAF Technical Study Group for their standout contributions. Banda and Kundananji have each scored 3 goals, with Banda dominating play and Kundananji troubling defenses with her pace and finishing. Mwemba, forming a solid partnership with South Africa's Mbambanani Mbane at the back, has been key to Zambia's strong defensive record. The rest of the CAF 11 includes Algeria's Chloe Ngazi in goal, defenders Ashley Plumter, Nigeria, and Fikile Magama, South Africa, among others. That sports item brings us to the end of the main news, but before we go, a quick recap of the stories that made headlines. Security guard on the run after fatal robbery at Lusaka fuel station. 9,377 road traffic accidents recorded in Zambia in second quarter of 2025. Immunization drives improvement in Zambia's child survival rates. And in our international news, at least 20 killed in crash at US-backed GHF aid site in Gaza. And in our sports news, Zambian stars named in CAF 11. Thank you so much for watching. For more news updates, do stay glued to our Facebook page, that's ICUTV, and our website, that's ICUTVZM.com. My name is Mapalokasama. Good evening.